We need more superhero projects like this one. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm giving you my review of Werewolf by Night, the new TV movie that went straight to Disney+. It is a Marvel Studios special presentation that hits Disney+ on October 7th. I was able to watch this early, so before I give you guys my thoughts on this, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below your thoughts on this if you have seen it or expectations you have not yet watched it, and be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified for all future MCU-related videos and videos in general. So going into this, I was extremely excited because the trailer that they dropped at D23 really kind of blew my mind. I was like, the MCU is committing to like a spooky, creepy type of feel, and it directly translated from that trailer to this about 52-minute long TV special. I just want to make this clear right off the bat. I'm in love with this, and I'm pretty sure this is my favorite MCU Disney Plus project for various reasons. Number one, it is far and away the most unique that we've ever gotten. And I know in the past you said, oh, Eternals is the most unique, and this is the most unique, and insert new title here is the most unique. Well, this time, it legitimately is. The entire thing is in black and white, essentially. And just the visual choices of this were honestly really impressive for the MCU, because there would be this grainy type of film and like old things that would pop up to make it feel like we're watching something from the 30s or 40s. And the score felt very vintage horror, like something from the 50s or 60s, like hints of the Psycho score at times. Hell, even the MCU intro let us know that this is not your typical MCU's project and immediately set the mood for this entire thing. I also love the way the story was told. It engulfed me from the very start, as it's kind of like this old storybook voice. I feel like, you know, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, it kind of reminded me of that, this voice sort of narrating and setting the stage for what would follow in this TV special, but I was just so into it from the jump. Another reason that I really respect and admire this TV movie is because it really commits. There are some pretty bloody moments here, and you know, I've critiqued the MCU and people have critiqued the MCU in the past for not really being mature enough, and I feel like this definitely commits to some fairly gruesome kills, especially for the MCU. It's nothing mind-blowing, it's not like the goriest thing I've ever seen, but for the MCU, I was like, damn. It made me feel like I wasn't watching an MCU project, which is something that I have to tip my hat to, because a lot of the times these fall through the same machine and feel like they're all the same exact product, you know, just in a different font, and Werewolf by Night does not at all follow any prior template that was set by the MCU, so it feels like they're finally sort of branching off from that, which I love. I also love Gael García Bernal's performance as Jack, the main character here. He plays it so well as this cool guy and one of the best hunters in the group. I won't give away too many plot details, but then you sort of realize there's something deeper going on here, and I love seeing all these other characters have to put the pieces of the puzzle together, as well as us, the audience. It was really exciting, and it made for some scenes with real genuine shock value. I am so impressed by Michael Giacchino's direction here, because he's one of my favorite composers of all time, but it definitely feels like this was a passion project for him, because he directs the hell out of it. Like, this 52-minute special builds tension better than a lot of straight-up feature-length horror movies, and it really had me on the edge of my seat at times. There are multiple memorable shots here, especially the way the lighting is used in the flash, and it just goes back to the basics of horror of leaving a lot to the imagination and build up, and I love that, because like they always say, things are scarier left to the imagination, and there are a few instances where Werewolf by Night really relies on that, and I was just like, this is almost too good to be true. This was a perfect little introduction into like the monster medieval sort of side of the MCU. I'm really excited for them to dive in on this more with Blade, which that's a whole story for another time. I hope that that movie ends up being a great project. There's some behind the scenes issues going on right now, but this is definitely a great stepping stone intro into this monster side of the MCU. And the story flew by. It was 52 minutes. I was like, damn, it's already over, and that's like a minor issue I have, but it's not really a critique of the actual movie itself. I just wish we got like another hour, because I was so interested in the characters and like the Hunger Games template story, as I like to call it, but then there's a lot of other twists and turns that kind of unveil over the course of the runtime. I really wish that we got a full 2-hour movie put to Disney Plus, and maybe one day Marvel will start to do that, but with what we got, I was highly satisfied with Werewolf by Night. It was creepy, it was atmospheric, it got me in the spooky season mood, but also did a damn good job at introducing us into this monster side of the MCU that's obviously going to play a pretty big part moving forward. The character of Man-Thing was a scene stealer when he had moments. There was a surprising amount of subtle comedy here that wasn't forced. It was like natural comedy, and you know, that's something the MCU has struggled with, is it feels like a lot of their comedy is shoehorned in there, and the comedy here works, and it's like a lighthearted comedic relief moment after a really tense scene, so it balances the two really well. I just loved the way this movie made me feel, and I 100% will be rewatching this near Halloween, and hopefully it becomes an annual rewatch. Now, I don't know how this is going to fit into the big picture of the MCU, and I'm a-okay with that, because a lot of times the MCU projects don't really need to fit into the big picture in the given moment. This is a perfect one-off. It pays homage to the classics, and it just feels so damn fresh refresh, especially for the MCU, but more importantly for the MCU on Disney+. I loved Werewolf by Night. I think you guys are going to enjoy it too, but let me know what you think in the comments down below if you've seen it. If you have not yet seen it, let me know your expectations. I'm going to say this right now, it's probably my favorite MCU Disney Plus project. Still love Hawkeye and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and there's enjoyment to be had with a lot of these, but this is by far the biggest standout to me, and I adored this thing. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified for all my future MCU videos and videos in general, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.